What up, what up, what up, man? Hopefully everybody's having a good time, having a good day, all of that good stuff, man. Just sitting here, got some deals on some different things, man. Some deals, but I wanted to present them first to the battalion members themselves. So hopefully y'all are having a good afternoon. You're having a day, good day overall for those that jump into the chat and all that good stuff. So I'm always finding some of these deals, and a lot of times what ends up happening is I find the deals and then I buy the deals and then I make the video. So I was like, in this moment, I guess I'll just kind of start the entire live stream and get an opportunity for you to actually click on the links in the chat if you want to. Let me know if any of the links are not working and ask me any direct Q&A questions that you may have at the end. If you're not a channel member, maybe you consider becoming a channel member if this is for the recorded segment, because they got to see this first. So they got a chance to jump on these deals before anybody else, which means if there's some things that they were interested in, they of course have already grabbed them up, and some of this stuff is very, very time sensitive. So you might want to check that stuff out. So first off, still the same thing in the pockets for today. We still are rocking the whole deca and all of that good stuff, which in and of itself, nice, stable little carry. I like this thing a lot. As I talked about in my live stream earlier in today, it is just something I just easily always make happen. Easily always I'm just kind of snatching up whenever I get the opportunity. So that is that. Now, let's jump into the deals because they can disappear pretty fast, and we don't want that happening on y'all whatsoever. So first off, the Vertex Ready Pack 2.0. I still use the Vertex Ready Pack 2.0 to this day. Not for every single day's type of usage. It's not getting used every single moment, but I love it. I like it a lot. I think it's a really good bag. I think it works really well. I use it mostly when I go biking. They have since replaced this with the Gen 3 of these bags, in 3.0 it actually seems to be a little bit different than the 2.0 version. The actual 3.0 is only 20 liters. The 2.0 is 25 liters. So that's a little thing that a lot of people don't really think about when they're comparing the two. And so the water bottle holder is better on the 3.0. I get it. But it's smaller. So they're definitely trying to get this out of their inventory. They're selling this directly on their website. $149.99 is a pretty good price. Normally on Amazon right now, it's like $170. So, and if I can get you any additional discounts with my actual discount code, I will check that out as well. Normally you can use Marine X and get an additional discount. I'll see if matter of fact, let's just try it out just to see how it goes, man. Let's just see if we can go to the checkout and see if we get any additional discounts, because sometimes that does work. So we'll go to apply discount, and on the apply discount, let's see, hold on here and see if we can type Marine X in here. Does it get any additional off? It may not, or I might even have the wrong discount code. So that code is invalid. So okay, so you can't use my code on any clearance items, but hey, like I said, man, you can still get it for $149 on Amazon. This is like $170. Normally it is about $200 on their site. It's no longer really $200 to $23. So if you're interested in this bag, I've done several reviews on it. It was my bag of the year for 2021, I think, or 2022. I can't really remember, but a great bag. So check that out. Now, the Coast flashlight. This is a really weird deal because I really had to dig and figure this thing out. If you use the code SAVE15, you can get 15% off this specific flashlight. I have been super interested in the Coast Slayer. The Coast Slayer flashlight is normally $79.99. It started off at $84.99. They bumped it down to $79.99. And so when you actually use the code SAVE15, that's going to get you an additional 15% off, and that brings the price down to $67.99. That makes a lot of sense for this flashlight. If you've been interested in this flashlight, this is Coast flashlight, direct answer to the flashlights such as the EDC 25 by Nikkor, the Nikkor EDC 27, the Olight Arcfeld, all those flashlights that are flat, streamlined, and they kind of fit in your pocket. This is IP67. I kind of wish it was IP68 rated, but it does have a 1150 lumens, so it's competing with some of those other flashlights as well. So that's going to be something that you might want to be interested in. So just to check this thing out, if you've had your eye on this, this is the opportunity to, I wonder what the max, okay, so the, yeah, turbo mode's 1150. So this is competing with the Streamlight Wedges of the world, which has a turbo mode of 1000 lumens. So that's something that you might want to look at as well. And so if we also look at the VanQuest has a sale going on some specific items. I mentioned the VanQuest medical bags last week. They've added some additional items. The medical bag is still on sale, so you can go check that out on their website. But now you can also pick up their 8-liter sling bag. And this is actually seems like a pretty good steal of a deal. So they only have they're obviously blowing these things out. They're trying to get rid of them. And so I can understand why they have this going on specifically. So the VanQuest bag is now $66.89. It's normally $121. So that's something that you might want to look into and snatch up while you still have the opportunity. But you also have here, if you use the code MOM24, it looks like you get an additional 5% off. So that's another $3. I mean, so, you know, it's going from $66.89 to about $63. So, I mean, that sounds like a good deal to me. So you might want to look into that just to see if that might be something that you might want to snatch up. Now, this thing here, it does look like it does fit a little funny on the back. It looks like a seat belt. I think the biggest complaint I had about this, it looks like a seat belt for the sling portion itself. But for $66 for 8 liters, it looks like it's going to fit all sorts of size items in there. You put your iPads in there. You might even be able to fit small laptops in there or whatever. And you're saving 50%. So that's a pretty good thing. I snatched this thing up. This is kind of in my tool deals. This is the note and bolt thread checker. There's all the times in my man cave around my house I am trying to figure out what is the thread checker for some nuts or bolts that I have laying around. Will it work for this application? I hate gathering the actual bolt up and then going to the box store and standing in the aisle waiting for the guy to get done so it's my turn. And I'm doing it all the time. I do it at least once or twice a month. So for me, the investment made sense. So this one specifically is $37.99, but I have a coupon down below that gets you 25% off. I used it. It worked. So that's going to drop you down, have a good savings there. So that makes the price a little bit more tolerable. This is rust proof. You can leave this in a very humid garage or something like that. You can even, for the most part, kind of leave it dangling outside or in a mechanic shop or something like that. And you don't have to worry about this thing rusting out. It comes in 2 different colors. And then you can check your own nuts and bolts to see what size you need to buy. Then you don't even have to go to the store. You can just simply buy them on Amazon or buy them on, go to your local hardware store or whatever and get in and out. This is another deal I had to snatch up. This is the Dr. Clean home microfiber cleaning set, a pack of 24. I snatched these up because I'm a big fan of the Harbor Freight microfiber cloths, but they are relatively cheap. Okay, normally for the microfiber cloths from Harbor Freight, you can get like a 20 pack for $9.99 with a coupon. So the coupon I have for this one specifically is 50% off. So this is normally $16. Let's call it what it is. Use the coupon that I have below. That's going to get you 50% off. You're out the door for about $8. These are significantly better than the Harbor Freight microfiber cloths that I normally would use. Some of them have different makeup, some of them so like more plush than others. So if you want to use them for different applications or something that can't have something that's abrasive on it, this is great for cleaning corners, hard to reach places, glasses, maybe your coffee mess, polishing down dishes and stuff like that if you're on cleaning duties. So I like to keep these on the ready. These are always ready to go, and that's a really good price to get 24 of these. So I also just snatched these up as well. Matter of fact, did I buy these today? Let's refresh this page. Actually, I thought I bought the 15 pack. Anyway, if I haven't bought these yet, these are definitely about to get purchased. The 15 pieces heavy duty storage straps for garage organization. You can use these to store if you got extension cords all over the place, if you have just anything that needs to be a little bit more tidy, whether it's extension cords themselves, the actual surge protectors, any other type of quarters that you want to get up off the floor, out of a drawer and onto the wall, or even put back into a drawer, but knowing that it's not going to unravel itself. this is what you want to pick up. You can get a 15 pack here, which is normally $16. Use the coupon code that I have down below. It's going to get you 50% off. That's why I'm saying I'm buying this today as well, because I would definitely snatch these up for 12 bucks, you know, 11.50, 12 bucks versus the $23. So that's a steal of a deal. And that coupon code should work for either the 22 pack or the 15 pack, whichever one suits your needs. Whenever I see DeWalt drill bits, whether they're actual drill and driver or the actual drill bits that make holes in walls or wood or plastic, if I see them drop below $10, it's a buy it now thing for me. I use bits all the time. I have a hoarder house. I go to buddies' houses. I work on that type of stuff. They make great bits. I wish these were 1/4 chuck, so I can just throw them right into an impact. You're not supposed to use them in an impact, but I like to use them in impacts if that's all I'm bringing with me for the job. But you can throw these in your drill driver and, you know, make holes and stuff. But at $9.98, this is 41% off. Whenever I see these go on sale, I pick some up, and I would recommend you do the same thing if you're always using this type of materials. I have a buddy who's a mechanic. I've recommended Crescent stuff in the past, and he's told me that if he brings a nice knife to work, it's either going to grow legs, it can get messed up from the chemicals they're using, whether it's oils or acids or whatever, to clean stuff off. But they need to still make cuts. They have to cut hosing that's going inside of an engine. They may have to open packages. They may have to do whatever. They have stuff all over their hands. Well, Crescent purposely coats their blades to specifically handle those harsh chemicals. This is a very budget blade still. You're going to have to sharpen it more often than not at CR15 MOV. But the composite material handle makes this thing very weighty. And the fact that it has a flipper tab means that you can use it when your hands are gunked up with chemicals. If you're wearing gloves, it's easy to use a liner lock when stuff like that. Harpoon blade allows for you to use that tip for utility cuts. This is a great knife for the worker or for somebody that doesn't care if their knife grows legs. So easy flipper tab options. This is $12. This is normally 24 bucks, 50% off. No one pays 24 bucks. It normally hovers around $18. So you're still saving approximately like 35%, which is a pretty good savings in my opinion. If you live in an apartment, if you have a house, first time house, or if you're just trying to find a drill set to put into your vehicle and just let it sit there, I like my 12 volt stuff that comes from Bosch. I have their sander, I have a drill, and I have an impact. I don't have this flexi option, the flexi click, 5-in-1 drill system. This is going to be not good at one specific thing, but it's going to be good at it's going to be decent at a lot of little things. First off, it's only 12 volts, but it's still brushless, so you don't have to worry about changing brushes or anything getting in running down your batteries any faster. You're going to get the bag. You're going to get these 4 attachments, the battery, 2 batteries, and you're getting all that for $129. The batteries are 2.0 amp. So that's pretty good. This thing charges decently fast. And so if you have an apartment, you want to do small DIY stuff, if you got your first home and you just mostly pay someone to do your work, but you just need a kit for something, then this might be the way to go. This thing is going to have your different drill drivers, right angle attachment, your high torque ratios, just different things that you can throw on here in a pinch and use it. It comes in at 1750 RPMs and it's 12 volts. So I would snag that if I had no tools whatsoever. Now the Kershaw Leak. I like the Kershaw Leak for a number of reasons. First off, I like 14C 28N blade steel. I think it's decent. That's number one. Number two, the blade itself is it has a lock on it. So if you need to keep this, if you're always using your blade quite often and you want to make sure it's safe and you can lock it and your kids can't open it, you can engage the lock at the very bottom of the Kershaw Leak, and it keeps it just that much more safe. And now I will say this, I have this in copper scales. This is stainless steel scales. I don't know how it's going to compare, but you know, when you're normally paying, how much is this thing normally? Let's see, it's $47. So it's normally 53 bucks. You're saving 12%. You can snatch this up if you see fit. Try it out. Don't cut anything with it. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, send it back and you're ready to rock and roll. The CJRB, this is the Echo or the Echo or whatever they call it. This is also a stainless steel bladed knife. It's using the AR RPM 9 blade steel, which is a durable steel. It has a decent hardness, an HRC level of like 59 to 61. And if you like a knife that has a little thumb hole, then this might be a way for you to go as well. This has a button lock. and you can grab this up and just have it just ready to go. It's normally $60, and they have this on a lightning deal for $37.49. Now, I don't normally like steel handled knives, just like as we talked about that Kershaw leak. But when you're coming in this low compared to look at all the other color options, this might be something which you snatch up and give to somebody that's not a knife person. You don't want to give them the Crescent, because then they may hate knives because it's not really up to par. You know, they may love it. I don't know. But this might be somebody, you give this to somebody and they say, oh, this is pretty nice. I can use the front flipper. I can use the thumb hole. You got different options. So that might be something you might want to look at. Mother's Day is coming up, okay? And I think about my mind. I know there's the common gifts and flowers and cards and candy and gifts and jewelry and stuff. But there's some women just like to have their own utility, or some bros that just want to have a different flavor for a utility knife. Normally $21.10. It's normally hovers around $19. It's 19% off at $16.99. You're going to get a 3-pack and you get 10 extra blades. That's pretty good to me. Has a pocket clip so you can actually wear it. It has like a little thumb stud so you can flip it open. These are actually pretty decent for utility knives. It's going to be great for the type of work like hanging drywall, cutting, or hanging wallpaper, cutting very, very thin drywall, cutting cord or whatever. If you don't want all the color, you can just get the regular, right? So the ones that have the, I think these are stainless steel handles or aluminum handles. I can't remember, but these are $13.49, 33% off, normally $19.99. And so if you want something a little bit more muted, then you can grab these as well. These are fantastic to use. Just keep them at the ready. If they grow legs, then who cares? You can also get them in the colored option if you want to get them all flavored colors, whichever one works for you. Now, the Flame Duke knife lanyard beads. I don't like beads like that, right? So I think about that kind of often, like, do I want to have a beads on my stuff? No, I don't. But some of you guys like that type of stuff. So here you go. Normally $8.85. You got this for $4.42. So that's a 50% off savings. I think this looks cool. I just don't wear beads on my stuff. But if you do, if this is something you might want to add to your collection, snatch this up, throw it on your paracord, throw it or whatever. Hey, Justin, thank you for kicking the door in, man. We appreciate that. First time for a live stream, and thank you for being a member. So the next belt has reached out to me in the past asking, can they send me a belt? And I told them I'm very happy with my current belt. So I think that I would actually be wasting product because I'm not going to use it. But I can't deny that they make good belts. This one is made of 100% leather. I don't know if you can replace the buckle, but if you like that USA flag on there, which I do, then you can keep that on there. But maybe they have exchangeable buckles on their website. That might be something that you look into. Normally $81.27. 20% off takes this to $65.25. Let me see where this thing hovers at. Yeah, it normally hovers around. Yeah, so this is actually a pretty good price. So if you want a next belt, if you want something that you can keep that belt buckle off to the side and maybe appendix carry, because these are very well made belts, high construction. They're going to hold your trousers up, so they're not going to let your stuff fall down. And then I would snatch up something like this. Now, I like my socket and ratchets. I love those. But there are some times when I just want to get a drill driver or an impact, which you're probably not supposed to use these on impact, but I would anyway. These are 1/4 shank. So I like this because I can just throw them in a drill driver, or if I have a 1/4 shank attachment for my drill or my impact, I could just throw this on there and just fix something really quick without getting the actual ratchet and the sockets out, or trying to find the adapter for my drill and then go find the actual socket. That's a lot. I literally used a set like this morning. I had a sheet metal screw come out of a piece of my garage, fell on the ground, almost stepped on it. I noticed it, and I just, made a new hole, threw it, put it back in the garage. Very, very easy. I needed a 10mm for that. I have that laying around. Keep this on the go, and you can just use this to make those small, quick repairs, or to drive bolts in, or whatever the case may be. And you're getting a little bit of SAE, and you're getting metric on here from 5 to 12, and it goes 5 to 5.5, which is great to have that 5.5, 6, 7, 8. It skips 9, you get 10, it skips 11. So if you need 11, you might want to snatch it up. You probably won't need 9, but you might want to buy 11 separately just in case you need that. Now, I showed this a few weeks ago, and I bought it, and my buddy liked it. He missed the deal when he saw my video. We were talking about this at dinner on Sunday, and he was like, oh, X, I missed that deal. It came back up. I just bought it for him. Okay, he doesn't. If he misses this video again, I'm gonna make sure he gets this thing, because this can hold your, if you have a loadout set up, a very large bug out bag, if you have a large IFAC, if you have a large plate carrier, whatever, this is gonna hold that up on the ground. Football gear, all sorts of stuff. I love mine. I keep my actual plate carrier on mine, which is loaded down. It's in the studs. Normally $29.98, 12% off, $26. It doesn't sound like a big savings, but it doesn't go on sale often. I showed this a month ago. It's back. In that month time, I've been tracking it, and this is the first time the price went down again. So don't just throw all your stuff on a boat, because you can actually stretch the fabric or stretch the actual pull handle on the back of your plate carriers where it won't function properly. You want to actually store it by the shoulders if possible. And you can actually store your helmets, store whatever else that you may have, instead of just throwing it in a corner. I think that's a pretty good thing, and it makes a lot of sense. If you're thinking about getting into rucking, we've been talking about this a lot on live streams. People have came into my live streams talking about rucking, that they're currently rucking, or X, how do you ruck? What do you wear? I have a decent pair of Columbia hiking boots for when I ruck, but those cost over $100. If you're thinking about getting into it, or if you just want some good, decent boots for hiking, I would recommend getting something that is relatively lower in price and lightweight. They're breathable. If they get rained on, your socks, you can change your socks out, and the shoe will self dry on its own as long as you change your socks out. This is going to be good if you are rucking, or if you're like riding a motorcycle, if you want to kind of protect your ankle or whatever. So this is called the Free Soldier. Never heard of it before, but I look for the specs that I like about it, which is it's 1,000D Cordura. It is breathable. So if you keep your socks dry, you should be good to go. Now, depending on your size is the pricing. I put this up here to as if I was buying a size 11, which is what I would get. So that brings the price from $59.99 to $42.49. And then there's a clickable coupon to get you 5% more off. Let's say, for instance, you wanted to get a 10. What is that price? So a 10. Okay, so the 10 is still 42. So just play around with this. See what may or may not work for you. It's 9% claim. I can't guarantee if this is still going to be here, but you can check that out, and you're going to get a savings of 53%. The EDC 27 by Nightcore. This doesn't list itself as a deal, but I know that this is a deal. On their website, it's $89.99, and with my coupon code, I normally can get you 5 to 10% off. But on Amazon, if you don't want the headache of going through their website, then you can buy it on Amazon. This is being sold by Waltz Trading LLC. Never heard of them before, but it's shipping from Amazon. So the fact it's shipping from Amazon, if you get it and you don't like the way it was packaged, or if it's missing something, you could just return it. And that makes it a lot easier. It does have a 1700 milliamp hour battery on there. It has a decent turbo mode of 3000 lumens, which lasts for about 10 to 15 seconds. And unlike their website, this comes with a brick. Now, this power brick, I've never heard of it before, but you get a power brick. You still get the charging cable that comes with the Nightcore. They throw in a charging brick, so that saves you a little bit of a headache. $80.95, a savings of 10%. I say that's pretty decent. A lot of people ask, what do you use camera-wise for YouTube or for point and shoot? Now, I have a couple of cameras, but the camera that kind of stays stationary, it's on my setup behind me right now, that I use whenever I vertical live stream. Well, you can't see it, but whenever I go vertical on a live stream, I use the Sony a6100. It's a very older camera, but it still works great. So whenever you see me streaming live vertically, that's the camera I'm using. I think it works great. It's normally $749, 20% off. You can get it for $598. What I like about this is when I want to take it off of the tripod and take it somewhere, it has a viewfinder, and I can grab a lens that I have with it and actually take some decent photos. I took my daughter to her cheer banquet on Sunday, used that thing. I had a professional camera that was smoking all the iPhones, and this thing is almost 8 years old, smoking all the iPhones that were in there, smoking all the Pixel phones and all that good stuff. So if you want a real camera in your EDC, or if you want to start doing YouTube stuff, I can't recommend this enough. It's a very good deal at 20% off. Now, the Sofrin SC13 1300 lumen max output flashlight. I just gave this to a buddy. Sofrin sent this to me. I literally turned it on a couple of times. I thought it was decent, but I didn't need it. So my buddy came over here. I mentioned this several times. He walks his dog at night. He runs his dog at night. He does not have a flashlight. So I gave this to him. He's been loving it. 38% off, normally $36.99, $22.99. Seems like a pretty good deal. The thing I love about this the most, at least for the little bit of time I had it, it weighs less than 2 ounces. So if you already carry like a Benchmade bug out, a Gerber Assert, a super light flash knife, and you don't want to get a heavy flashlight, this is your solution. You get something nice and small. It has decent range, and you're going to get the good working mode of 150 lumens. It has a moonbeam mode of 1 lumen, which I freaking love. So you got all sorts of options there as well. I don't like REs, but some of you guys do. I know some peasants love them some REs. Okay, so if you want to get yourself a Frog RE, and he's also sitting on top of a knife, look like he's holding the knife itself, Frog with the knife, you can throw this on any of your pouches or whatever and use this and for whatever. So this is something that you might want to have as well, so you can throw that on there. Now I don't know, is this a sew on or is this an actual hook and loop? Let me see. Well, somebody buy it, let me know. If it's not, if it should be a RE, did you throw on? If it's supposed to be sewn on, just return it. But I'm very confident that you actually just throw that on. Now Obuy has gone bye-bye. Obuy has gone bye-bye. They've merged with Olight.com. And so they every now and again they have this deal on this O Knife O Tactical utility knife, which is very similar to the Work Pros, except for this one has a more sturdy locking mechanism with this twisting locking mechanism. It looks and feels more like a pocket knife because it has G10 scales with a carbon fiber overlay. So if that's important to you, you might want to snatch that up as well. Normally $24.99. You're getting this thing 20% off for 20 bucks. It's not bad. If you want to have something that looks like a pocket knife, but you can still buy the blades at the box store, then there you go. Benjamin Reed, thanks for stopping by, sir. Thanks for being a goddamn member. And finally, what I'm using right now to power this entire desk is the EcoFlow River 2. Now I have the River 2 Pro, which is his big brother. This price just keeps staying the same. And I came down here and it was $239. It dropped down to $178 in April, and then it jumped back up to $239. And since May 1st, it's been $169. It jumped back up for 1 day and it's back down to $169. This is a buy it now price. If you've been thinking about a portable power station, if you've been thinking about something to power your desk, because this has it's called an emergency. So instead of an uninterruptible power supply, this is called an emergency power supply. Literally within 30 milliseconds of losing power, this thing takes over and keeps your devices charged. And unlike an uninterruptible power supply, which maybe lasts 15 minutes, a half an hour, this thing, depending on how much wattage is being drawn, can keep your stuff going for a few hours. That makes a lot of sense. So if I were to lose power while I'm gone, this connects to Wi-Fi. I can actually check my Wi-Fi to see that. Obviously, if I lost power, I wouldn't be able to tell. But if I lost power and just like a circuit went out, if I just tripped a circuit and I still had Wi-Fi, I can check and see, okay, the desk doesn't have power, but this thing has taken over. I think that's really good. It has a DC. You can have the DC port. It has 2 USB A's, a USB-C. I like this thing. Okay, I like it a lot. I like its big brother even more because it has more plugs. But I didn't think I would like this so much until other companies saw me doing reviews on power stations and sent me really shitty power stations. Then I realized the EcoFlow is fantastic because I have some power stations that have been sent to me. I'm using one on my streaming desk, my other streaming desk when I do my podcast. That thing is so bad. It also has an emergency power supply. It is so bad. It works, but this works better. This also has 1 hour fast charging. The other one that they sent is cheaper, but it takes 6 hours to charge. These little details matter in these power stations. And if you don't think they do, buy another one and go through that headache and then tell me what you think about it. So those are some of the deals that I had for you guys, and it's a fantastic one. Dwayne, thanks for stopping by, and thank you for being a member. We appreciate that, man. He says that is a good price on that EcoFlow. It is. And I've been watching it. I didn't want to talk about it last week because I was just like, you know, I feel like the price may come back. And then I checked the pricing and I was like, oh, wait, it hasn't been this price this entire calendar year. It dropped to 178. I can't even get you this price on their website because I have an affiliate link on their website. I can't even get the price down this low. It leads me to believe that they're about to come out with a different model. Whatever they're about to do, this is something that you may want to snatch up when you get an opportunity, because this pricing is something that may not last very, very often. Dwayne says, have you ever used anything from Anchor? So Anchor has sent me products in the past. In full disclosure, I'm in the middle of maybe getting another power station from them. The first power station that they sent me, I used it and I gave to a buddy, and I didn't have to do content for them. So I really want to get one of their, I think they call it the Solus models, because it has this light bar on the front that I've seen the Den of Tools. He has done a review on it. He says this is one of the only power stations with a light bar that's not annoying at night. That's my complaint with these power stations. The light is a good idea unless you use it at night in a tent, or if you're hunting. If the light is too bright, it doesn't allow for your night vision to adapt in the environment that you're in. That's why I really want to check that out. So those are some deals I just wanted to provide you guys. I wanted to provide them to members first. I'm recording this to my computer, and I'm going to whip some things up in the background, and I'll post it to all of YouTube, and that may take me a couple of hours. So instead of waiting, might as well do the live for the members, and then backdoor, and I'll post this for everybody else. So I am going to go do some tasks. Got some daddy duties and some husband's duties to do before I can even edit this thing. So for all my channel members, appreciate you guys tuning into the live. For everyone else, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of the battalion. If you're not a member, maybe you join memberships. I release videos early for them, and I try to do strategic live streams for them when I can. And for everyone else, we will speak soon.